6. I'm George Mallet. Breaking news tonight, reports of an attempted abduction in Northwest Rochester, followed by a police chase. It's unconfirmed if the two are related, but KIMT News 3's Anthony Monzon joins us live from the scene with the very latest. Anthony, what have you learned?
George, we're learning a whole lot more about this story. In fact, right next to me, I have the man who claims he was in the back of this car when it was stolen from an auto body shop in Rochester. So here's Jason Gascoigne. So Jason, tell me about just what exactly happened.
So we did a repair on this Audi back here. Front end was smashed in. The guy couldn't pay the bill, so he and his accomplice, his buddy, pretended like he was gonna cover the repair and then buy the car from him. And but it was all just a ploy to try and steal the car without paying for it. And he was, looking over. It seemed like we spent about an hour with us looking over the car, and he was just waiting for the moment to try and strike and steal it. And he hopped in the car, slammed it into reverse, slammed it into drive, and all the doors shut, but the only thing that stayed open was the trunk, so I hopped in the trunk. And I hopped in there, and I held on, and I called 911 right away. And eventually the police caught up with us. We were driving around probably over 100 miles an hour for probably 20 minutes, man. Like, you could tell the car was getting hot because he was driving it hard, and he's a pretty good driver, but he just made a bad decision.
And what was that like? I mean, again, basically being in the back of this trunk as it's flying through the streets of Rochester here, and obviously you don't know how this is going to end. You don't know, again, if this might end in a crash and you're there in the back of the trunk. What was that like being there in that moment?
It was frustrating. It was exciting. It eventually got scary because the more he felt like once the police were behind us, he started driving real crazy, and that's when it got scary. And I started telling him, dude, just let me out of the car, just let me get out, let me out. Eventually, he did slow down enough to let me hop out of the car, and he took off again, and police eventually got him.
Well, Jason, thank you so much for speaking with us. We know it's been a pretty crazy day for you today. That might be the understatement of the year out here in Northwest Rochester. Again, we know that the suspect is no longer here on the scene. Police are determining what they're going to go ahead and do with this car at this hour. We'll bring you all the latest developments as we get them. Live in Rochester, Anthony Monzon, KIMT News 3.
Thanks, Anthony. Very good get. We will, of course, keep you updated and have much more on this tonight at 10 o'clock.